Hi everybody, so this is going to be my weeks 1 and 2 breastfeeding update. Miss Emma's here to say hi again. Alright, so let's see. Breastfeeding has been going really well. I'm so thankful for that because I know that there can be a lot of challenges with breastfeeding, especially for a first-time mom. But thankfully it's been going pretty good. Starting back at week 1, obviously in the hospital, we started breastfeeding right away. Shortly after Emma was born, probably about a couple hours, we had her try and breastfeed. She latched right away, so that was really good. She had a good latch. She didn't eat much, obviously, the first couple times that we tried, but each time she would latch and she would try at least for 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes. So she did really good the first day. The second day that we were there, going into the hospital overnight, and then the second day she started to not feed as much, which they don't really aren't concerned about because the baby isn't really hungry at that point. It's more just getting them in the habit of doing it, and depending on the mom, you don't have much to give them because you still just have your colostrum at that point. So she would try and eat, but then wouldn't be interested in it. She would do it maybe for 5 minutes at the most. Going into the second day, they weighed her. She was born when she was born. She weighed 7 pounds. The second day that we were in the hospital, she was down to 6 pounds 6 ounces, which isn't a huge concern. It's definitely a significant amount of weight, but they do lose weight when they're born, so the pediatrician wasn't too concerned because it wasn't a massive amount, but it was definitely down. So the nurse, because when Emma was trying to eat, she wasn't eating very long, or she wasn't eating very long, and it kind of becomes a brutal cycle because then they don't have the energy to eat, and especially when they're newborn and they have to work so hard at breastfeeding, it cannot go so well, and they can continue to lose weight a lot. So the day that we came home, early that morning, overnight into the morning, she still wasn't feeding well, and the nurse was talking to me about it and suggested that we supplement formula for her, because we didn't want her to continue to lose more weight and not have the energy to eat. So we did supplement formula for her one time, and she ate that right away, and then continued to breastfeed just perfectly right after we gave it to her. So like I said, I do want to exclusively breastfeed, but at that point I just made the decision that that was what was best for her and best for her well-being, to get the energy so that she could continue to nurse. So we just went ahead and made that decision to supplement formula as needed, but it ended up being that was the only time we actually needed to supplement. So we came home, and then the day that we came home was 3 days postpartum, and then that's when my milk started to come in. That was definitely not fun. It's just very uncomfortable, and yeah, it was definitely like they explained it to you to be, very hard in your chest, and just uncomfortable. But I was happy that it came in pretty good and pretty quickly. So then once that started, we haven't had any issues. Like I said, we only had to supplement the formula once, and then once we got home, she continued to nurse perfectly. Right now she's on a schedule where she nurses anywhere from every 2 to 3 hours. And it's just going really well. I haven't had an oversupply issue. I haven't had an undersupply issue. I seem to be making just enough for her to be fine. I also have started pumping because I will be going back to work full time. So that's something that I started doing when she was about a week old. I pump at least twice a day right now, and I definitely want to start doing more of that because right now I have 3 bags of milk frozen up, but that's definitely not going to be enough for her once I go back to work. So that's something that I'm going to look to increase to do. If any of you guys are working moms and have pumped and have any suggestions on that, I would love to hear them, because I definitely need to be making more to get her ready for when I'm going to go back to work. So I know with breastfeeding, it's a supply and demand thing. So the more that you demand, the more that you supply. So I'm going to, like I said, definitely start to increase pumping to probably after every feeding. Other than that, I mean, like I said, it's gone really well, and I'm so thankful because it can be super duper tricky, but like I said, she latched on right away, had a really good latch. Right now, like I said, she nurses every 2 to 3 hours. She nurses for about 25 to 30 minutes each time that I nurse her. And we went to the doctor today, and her weight was back up. She's at 7 pounds 4 ounces, and the doctor was really happy about that because that's a little over 1 ounce per day, which is exactly what they should be gaining at this point in time. So everything's going really well. It's kind of nerve-wracking as a mom, as a first-time mom when you're breastfeeding, because you're not 100% sure that they're getting everything that they need, but she's definitely getting it all. And like the doctor said, a good sign is that if they have the wet and dirty diapers, which she has every single time that we nurse her and change her. So it's just gone really well, and I'm really happy about it. So the only other thing that I can think to talk about on breastfeeding is that we do have her on a vitamin D supplement. She takes 1 milliliter per day of vitamin D because breastfed babies just don't get enough of that, and so the pediatrician did recommend putting her on that. So she has been on that since she was about a week old, and takes it every day. And then I'm still on my prenatal vitamins as well. But I think that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions or any tips, go ahead and leave them as a comment below. And we'll see you next week for another update. You want to say bye, Emma? She's about to fall asleep. Say bye, babies. Ooh. Say bye. Bye, guys. All right, we'll see you later.